Welcome to Bit Deaf Radio.
Right. I don't actually like calling it like a podcast. Like it's not called the Bit Depth Podcast. There's no the.
There's no the.
And there's no podcast. It's just this is Bit Depth. Like the whole of the thing is Bit Depth.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it.
Like, I mean, I don't know if Joe Rogan calls it like. He calls it the Joe Rogan podcast, with like officially the Joe Rogan experience. I don't know. I mean, he has enough listeners to not care about PR shit like that. So I guess
the only podcast. Are we recording now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. The only podcast I like regularly listen to, and is yours on Spotify, right?
Yeah. Okay,
I need to follow you because like I follow two podcasts. One of them I don't listen to, and the other one is is Old Row Radio, and. You know what Old Row is? It's the it's this like demonic Southern fraternity Instagram conglomerate, and like the founder's like a drunken Oklahoma State graduate, and like there's just these like weird guys in their like mid-20s, late 20s maybe, who own this conglomerate and just make money off of like dumb videos of people doing frat shit, which is something I respect. But they actually have like a mildly like interesting, I say mildly, and I like listen to it more than I listen to the radio, this podcast where they just talk about funny frat stuff. And like, you know, I wasn't in a fraternity or anything, but like I've had many friends, my best friends in college, and frat culture is just really hysterical and entertaining to me. It's like the missing link is what frat culture is. But I'm going to follow you right now.
Okay, yeah. There you go. It's Bit Depth.
There we go.
I think actually like most people listen on Spotify.
See, that's going to make it
or Apple
much
Podcasts.
Easier. So much easier because I'm used to listening to it. In fact, I'm going to listen to the Raglan episode tomorrow on my way to and from work. I'm just used to like listen to it on... I don't know what you used to put it on YouTube or like a podcast website.
Right. Well, no, I put it... It's on everything.
Now it is.
Yeah.
Last time I was on it, I don't think it was. But that was also years ago, so it's my fault.
You also have an Android, and so it's like...
Oh, yeah, it's a broken bug of mess.
Shit, yeah.
I've been wanting to get rid of this and buy a Chinese phone because like I have this weird moral belief that if I'm going to be buying like cheap Chinese bullshit, then it may as well be directly from the sweatshop workers instead of...
the middleman
that is American and European countries. Like when I think about like high fashion shoes, I think about only wanting to buy bootlegs at this point because I'm like, I want to buy it from the people. And like maybe there is a middleman there, but there's got to be like less of a middleman between like a guy who oversees the shop and Nike and Adidas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which sounds weird. It's still immoral, you know. Those people are still working in horrible conditions, but
but at least you're like trying to kind of help.
Kind of, very minutely.
But no, what I wanted to talk about, I guess, is that we both recently graduated from a university,
the same university, technically.
And real adult human life
creeping
has sort of creeping. It kind of hit me.
It moved fast,
like a ton of bricks.
yeah.
And so it's like you would think that, I mean, before you graduate, you're kind of like, oh yeah, once I graduate, once I'm not in school, I'm gonna have all this free time to like do the things that I want to.
And you do for like a month or two. And then you gotta get a job.
Right. But it's also like real adult human beings don't have time to do the things that they want.
No.
And I don't know. It's weird that the entire like backbone of society is held up by
people who are dying.
Yeah, people going to their 9-to-5s and just like putting their passions in a closet and never thinking about it again until they turn 65 and can retire.
We don't even have that to look for.
Yeah, no, we don't, because it's not like that Social Security money is going to be there for us.
No, it won't.
Or you can, get a good enough job to fucking like have a 401k paid into.
Yeah. That's the goal. It's possible. we're educated and like exceeding enough people.
But that's the thing, is that I don't know if other programs are like this or whatever, but like my teachers, once I was nearing graduation, I was like, so what am I going to do? You're connected in this whole thing of the major that I'm doing.
Yeah.
How would I go about getting a job in this thing?
And they just shook your hand and said, get out. Don't be here.
Not quite. I mean, I had a meeting with one of my teachers yesterday, actually. So it's not like completely cut off. And I also ran into Dustin today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where'd you run into him?
At H&M.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hi, Dustin.
Hi, Dustin.
But maybe, I don't know if it's like the institution's fault and maybe also our fault a little bit, but it's like I know I didn't ask the question enough of like going about getting a job in this thing. Or maybe they were just kind of like low key telling us the entire time and we just weren't listening.
School felt too overwhelming. Working, like, maybe it was a little bit different for you because like you had the ACM job and like you could do stuff there.
Sure.
Like, you could work on music, you could work on things you needed to, and it was during the day.
Right.
For me, I'd go to class all day, ACM main campus, and then like go to work till midnight, and it felt like that was every night. And so it felt like I didn't have time to do anything. And maybe that is on me for staying in the same job through college instead of trying to quit that and go do music.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that like...
But would I have had time?
No, it's... Would you have been able to pay for anything?
Nah.
And
I still wasn't.
Right. So
No,
it's,
you're right.
It's always like... It's... We have a plane that we're going on, and you can either go closer to the time side
Or closer
to the money side.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get both. You either spend all your time getting money, or you spend all your money making time. But you don't get both.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, sure, you stayed at that job and you couldn't quite like do homework on the job. But at the same time, it's also what made it possible for you to keep doing it and actually finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus, I mean, I was lucky in that I had that ACM job, but I also spent all my time doing homework there.
Yeah.
And then once I was not at work, I was still just in class. There was like the times in between there are like trying to enjoy a human life with a girlfriend, then fiance, and friends, and then somehow trying to keep doing music as well.
It is nearly impossible.
So, I mean...
I'll tell you this. I have an easier time balancing those things, working full-time, than I did going to school, which is weird because I felt less... Maybe I feel less stressed now because things are on a set schedule. And so, like, I can at least... Even if I go, oh, I only have so much time during the week because I work, 8 to 5 every single day.
Right.
At least I know those evenings and those weekends are free, and I plan everything around that.
Yeah.
When I was in school, it was like everything was changing like every 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the fact that like also ACM is the type that like you only have one class per week.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a strict routine.
Mm-hmm. It's very loose. Half the time you don't even have to show up. ACM, I do not regret going to ACM whatsoever.
No.
Like, I could have done engineering. I probably would have done engineering at Oklahoma State if ACM didn't exist, because I wasn't going to do music at a state school. But the program, I don't regret it at all. So many people go through and just like complain, bitch, and moan, and bellyache. It's like, what did you think you were going to school for? You think you're going to become Robert Plant? You think you're going to become Katy Perry? Like, you're in Oklahoma. Get a reality check. That entire point of that school was a reality check.
Yeah, and I mean, someone recently asked me, because he's going to, hi, Michael. He's going to ACM soon for production. He was like, how do I get the most out of ACM? And I was like, talk to your teachers, for one.
Pretty much.
Use those office hours and use that studio time.
Yes. Yeah.
And already you're going to be like far better off than a lot of the other sort of rich parent jerks that like think that they'll just be a pop star overnight.
Yeah.
Because you got to do the effort.
Yes.
And you know, I did spend time talking to teachers, but what I didn't spend enough time doing was using that studio time.
Me too. 100%. 100%. My problem with that, you know what was creatively draining about ACM? It was not the teachers. It was not the classes. It was 100% the other kids. I mean, you're talking like a few hundred people probably enrolled in that school. And there's like less than 10 of us I would go through and feel like I even wanted to like associate with musically.
Sure.
And so that's a lot of why I like didn't use the studio time. I didn't want to join people's bands because like there's only so much time in life to make music. And like maybe it was detrimental to me to do this, but I didn't want to waste time making music with people that I didn't want to make. You know what I'm trying to say? I didn't want to make that kind of music. Right.
And I mean, in some parts, which is kind of why they have like the bands that are assigned, is sort of like you got to get used to being in shitty bands.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
In the same way that like in school science projects that you have groups and like someone pulls the entire thing. It's like, yeah, you're going to be in situations where either shit's going to suck or the workload is going to be uneven. And I think especially so in music, but you can apply that to everything else, is that like you're going to have to compromise. And you know, sometimes shit sucks. So I mean, yeah, in the school bands, it's like, hey, we're doing this song. You're like, man, I hate this song.
Well, I mean,
but you gotta learn it.
I'm like, yeah, I get it. All right, I'll do it. But
yeah,
I only have to put up with that in a class. I only have to put up with that if I'm gigging full time, eating ramen, and you know, struggling.
Yeah,
I have a job. I mean, it's not like a luxurious job. It's better than any job I've ever worked, and it's paying me more than if I was trying to gig full time. That'd be miserable.
Exactly.
And so that's why I feel like I can pick and choose, because now I really only have so much time.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, I'm still gigging here and there. I haven't actually tried too hard lately to get bookings because of everything else going on in my life. But like, which, by the way, if you're listening, you need some music for the blah, blah, blah. Contact me. Book me. I play music. But
this is a musician's podcast, if you couldn't tell from the 100 episodes.
It doesn't have to be a musician's podcast, but it's since I'm a musician, most of the people I talk to are musicians. So that's the context. But I don't know. It's the same thing for anything else. If you have a passion for drawing, if you have a passion for freaking making sculptures or something, like if you plug yourself into the matrix, as I've kind of been calling it, is you're gonna be drained from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then once you get home, you don't have the energy to even pursue that passion.
Yes.
And not to mention all of the other responsibilities that come up if you buy a car or house, are in a relationship and have kids eventually, then the dream is dead. And so it's like, unless you spend every free moment of your time chasing that dream, the dream is dead. And I know of some people that they're trying to keep lying to themselves that the dream isn't dead, and that every once in a while they're like, ooh, cool, I'm excited about this. But then they like fall right back in. And then it's like, yeah, no, I've just been busy. I'm just getting home and like binge watch some TV and then go to bed.
Been guilty of that past couple weeks.
Right. No, I have too.
Twin Peaks is, everybody watch Twin Peaks.
Yeah. I mean, I've been binge watching
Westworld.
Yeah. So like fucking, I'm not immune to that either. But I mean, like, if this is the entire backbone of society, we're fucked. Like,
I know I say this a lot to people. I don't know what's next, and I don't think anyone can predict what's next, but we're not going to recognize it, and it may not come in our lifetime.
I mean, there has been some strange changes to that formula of like wake up in the morning, go to work, watch TV, go to bed. I mean, some people add, after work, go to a bar. Some people add after work, go do some physical activity. But like, the internet has changed things. There are people who can make their entire living through streaming content on the internet, be it YouTube or Twitch or Mixer or whatever it is. And that's a weird thing.
But it's different.
Right.
In a good way.
And I mean, there are people that have like tens of thousands of Instagram followers. And they're just influencers now. And that's a job, I guess.
Kind of. It's empty. Don't let those boats and like extravagant hipster food places fool you. Those people are empty.
Right. That's how we get Firefest. And that extreme, and that's probably why influencers have become so prevalent, because like you have this army of the rest of humanity that's like drained by their 9-to-5 job, and then they look at these people and go, that's the life I want, even though the dream for me died a long time ago. But if I could just take part of that, then maybe the dream. This is really bleak. But I mean, yeah, and that's how we get Firefest.
Yeah. Which is hysterical still.
Right. Or even just like, I don't know if you, a friend showed me a video of like Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
And it was someone just like walking down the dirt. And it was just like pods of people everywhere taking selfies.
God.
With like the stage in the background. And so like Coachella became less about being at Coachella, but more about showing
that you are.
Other people that you are at Coachella.
Yeah.
which is just a meta layer of existence.
Dude, I mean, thank God. I feel like I've changed a lot. Whenever I was a lot younger in high school and stuff, I was just constantly irate about excuse me. I was just constantly irate about people, humanity, just very misanthropic.
You just like pull that up.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yep.
That good?
That's sound. Yep.
You can edit that part out. Yeah, I was just super misanthropic and obsessed with how much I hated how people were, but like, I don't know, I feel like I've grown way out of that, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about people. I can do what they want. Doesn't bother me. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there isn't a concern. There should be a concern with the state of humanity, but it's a one that is a slow burner. Like, I know the Area 51 thing is like a month away, but could you imagine if everybody remembered it and you have like a couple hundred people show up to that? That would be like humanity breaking. Like, I really like think like that'd be a lot for everyone to deal with, that people can just on a whim show up for a meme on top secret government property.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's a way that humanity's changing, is like we're just becoming more erratic and postmodern.
Right, but I think it's also the fact that so many of us are dissatisfied. That's why.
Oh yeah.
That's why it's like, oh, I'll take some time off work to fly to Area 51. That's a thing that I'll do that will make me feel alive.
I won't vote, but I'll go to Area 51.
Well, no, that's the thing. Those people did vote, and they voted for Donald Trump because it would be funny.
People? Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, you got a point. All right, if you're going to Area 51, please don't vote.
Yeah, I guess. Or just, sign up as a independent and then vote for Andrew Yang. Please. I talk about politics on this podcast sometimes, but vote for Andrew Yang. Other than that, no, I think that the Area 51 thing,
until you have to vote for Bernie. Just don't vote for Biden.
Don't, for the love of everything.
Vote for anybody but Biden or Trump.
God, that poor man's brain is collapsing upon itself.
Yeah,
he needs to just stop.
He's been having a rough couple weeks, hasn't he? Which is gonna get rougher and rougher.
Oh yeah, and just the more things that he says, the worse
putting his foot in his mouth.
Yeah.
He called like black people like the poor kids or something to some school. Oh, Joe.
No, I think it was poor people can be as smart as white people or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, all right, we get what you mean, and we also get what you mean.
Yeah. And it's a funny thing too, is that like, since we're kind of bombarded with shit like this, or the clear assassination of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
That like, we're not even surprised anymore.
No. Everybody saw that one coming, and it happened anyway.
Right. And I guess you could call it a suicide if like, technically him saying he would comply was his suicide.
Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody about every billionaire I know.
Yeah. So, of course he was suicided. But that's the thing, is like, we're not even like, of course he was killed.
Yeah.
And the fact that like, they're not even trying anymore.
No.
Like, yeah. We're all in the Matrix now, and we're bored.
We're bored. It doesn't matter. That's what I was like telling my girlfriend, Mary. Mary, I love you. Like, yeah, it happened. Yeah, we all know they killed him. Somebody, whoever they is, somebody killed him. But like, does it matter? Like, what are we going to do about it? And that's what it feels like with everything lately. It's like, all right, like we understand everybody is 100%, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are like very lucid of how bad things are. And it's like, all right, but like, what can we do about it at this point?
Right. But that's the thing, is that that's kind of why the Area 51 thing is kind of so
Profound.
Yeah, because that's part of the point, is like they can't stop all of us.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, how about we use all of this energy and momentum to
Vote.
Yeah, to fucking make a real impact.
Yeah. Well, that requires effort. Not clicking RVSP on Facebook.
Interested?
Yeah, interested on Facebook.
Right. And also, speaking of RSVP, those of you who I've invited to my wedding, I need you to actually RSVP to the thing.
You're looking at me, but I haven't gotten
No,
on Facebook.
I know. But like, I'm just saying. I've handed out a lot of these. I've gotten like 5 responses. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, maybe the meme will turn into something important. But again, I feel like that's part of why Donald Trump was elected, is because everyone was bored and tired. And it's just like, not everyone who voted for Donald Trump feels this way.
But there were a few.
I know that there are some that are just like, why don't we just fucking burn it?
Oh, we shake things up. Yeah. How'd that work out?
Yeah. I mean, stuff has been shaken. And the other weird part is that, like, we're in, like, simulations within simulations. Like, I am fairly liberal and progressive, and so the stuff that comes across my internet stream is in that vein. And so since this is my bubble that I'm in, I actually cannot fathom how any human being in the United States can be supportive of Donald Trump. But I'm in this bubble. This is my matrix that I'm in. And there's some combination of influences on your world that can make you believe that. So, but that's the harder part, is that, like, I actually cannot fathom it. Or maybe people just don't care.
It's a combination.
Right. Well, on the way here, I was listening to a podcast about the death penalty.
Okay.
And apparently, overwhelmingly in the United States, people are, not overwhelmingly, but they cited 60% are in favor of the death penalty, which is much more
aggressive than others.
Well, no, like, are in favor of the death penalty. It's much more than I thought would be.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm in this nice progressive liberal bubble that tells me that state killings are wrong. Maybe it's also just a combination of, like, my education and stuff like that. But, like, that's another thing. Like, I can't fathom how so many people can be in rural America and be in favor of the death penalty while also being a devout Christian that says killing is wrong in many, many instances of their belief.
There's something incredibly broken about, I don't know what it is. There's something broken about people. And I don't mean people in general. I just mean, like, exactly what you're saying. people who pretend to be something like Christianity, which is, you know, supposed to be something of like peace and love, and like they want brown people out of their country. They want the death penalty to be supported. I don't get it. It goes against everything that they say they are, but like why are they hypocrites? Mm-hmm. How did they get to that point? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just the long-standing, blood-soaked base, foundation of modern society is white supremacy.
Sure.
And there's something about that, the creation of the other, that has driven these people.
Yeah.
To act the way they do. They don't even know it. And like it affects more than just like white people acting like that, Christians acting like that. I mean, like it affects everybody. It gets in your head in a subconscious way. It affects everybody.
Yeah. And I don't know, like maybe it's also hard for them to put themselves in someone else's shoes. And maybe I'm just more empathic than most people, I guess. But like, I can't remember which white supremacist dude that my dad sent me a clip of, but he was like, yeah, no, like white Europeans are the ones in power and we want to maintain that power, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, you guys are threatening my power, that I've had for so long. And yet they don't realize that that's what they've been doing to everyone else.
Yep.
For the rest of history.
For the rest of history.
And it's not like I'm not on the side of like, oh, we should just turn the tables completely and let's just do white slavery or like white genocide, because there are people that believe that, and that's pretty fucked up. It's but nonsense. But they're in the minority and they're crazy.
Yeah.
However, there was a much larger percentage of people that were okay with black slavery not more than 200 years ago.
You're right.
And there are still people, a large number, an astounding number, that believe that certain people are of greater or lesser value.
Yeah.
And that's more of like a moral standpoint, I guess.
You know what it is.
And I know that not everyone thinks about morality as much as I do. However,
nobody thinks about morality.
But like, couldn't you put yourself in those shoes? Just a little bit.
There's too many factors. There's too many veils, too many walls. I mean, you have politicians like Trump who take advantage of like these insecurities of people and like paint them in a box and like make them think that like they're being attacked. You have, I feel like with most people, especially white people, a lot of white people, I'm sorry, like liberal or conservative, they'll acknowledge like, oh, racism is a thing. And the people who don't are just fucking horrible people. They'll be like, oh, racism is a thing. Racism is bad. But I'm not implicit in that. Because like, people don't want to recognize or fail to that the problem lies in the structure of how society has formed over the past like 500 years. They're just like absolute like rape and pillaging of the world by white people. And the problem lies in that structure. No one's going up to Joe Bob on the street and being like, you caused the death of Africa and all its resources. Like, no,
because he didn't.
But But Joe Bob, you've got a responsibility to go, this was bad. There's a problem with the structure that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And like it starts with everybody recognizing that. And not nobody, but a lot of people aren't ready to recognize that. And recognition is the first step before any change is possible.
Right. Well, it's just like, check your privilege. Is a
and
thing.
it's true. And like that doesn't mean like it's what does that say about these people? What does it say about you when someone like says anything about privilege, says anything about the power structure, and it offends you, and like you get nervous about it, you get insecure about it? What does that say about you?
So I mean, talking about the foundation of Western society, and I know we've gotten pretty bleak and dystopian here, but is there any turning it around?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There are tons of people who can just be as pessimistic as possible and be like, nothing's getting better. Things have only gotten worse. And this is just not true. Like, things have gotten bad in different ways. But things have also gotten better than they ever were. So, like, I'm black, so I'll use this as an example. I can look at Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon and be like, oh my God, crack has completely destroyed black communities forever, on top of like all just the random like gentrification, gerrymandering, like everything is just down to like make it worse for like inner city communities. But also, I could not go out in public 50 years ago with my girlfriend and like not expect to like get shit for it. And that was like in the 70s.
Yeah.
So you go a couple more decades after that, and I could not have gone out in public with my girlfriend and not been killed over it.
Yeah.
I couldn't vote. Things are getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And it's still taking 1 step slowly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I find it a little extreme. Some people are talking like, oh, are we at the brink of like revolution or something?
No.
I don't think people are angry enough yet.
No.
And the people that are talking about a revolution
We're going to be talking about it anyway.
Well, sure, but they're in the minority.
Yeah.
I'm sure like in, the last time that there was a whole bunch of, I mean, the civil rights movement did have like a thing and an inflection point, and then it like stuff happened. Clearly not enough happened, but kind of like people got okay with some stuff for a little while, and then it kind of settled back into the whole, oh wait, let's just slowly crank up the racism over time.
Let's crank it back up.
Yeah. And now, we cranked it back up
A little too high.
a whole lot. Yeah. Even still, I don't think we're at the point of revolution. I think that what it is more so is that I hope that people can be a little bit more connected, because that's kind of the hard part about what the internet has done to us, is that we're both extremely connected and not connected at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Talk to humans face to face.
Try.
Yeah. But I think another thing,
it's a luxury I don't think that some of our grandchildren are gonna afford.
Yeah, maybe like VR or something will sort of be a placeholder for that. I don't know.
We act like, oh, it's impossible. Human interaction is gone. But like, I've made like many great friends through talking to them on voice chat on Xbox Live and
Hell yeah.
group chats, and it's still there. It's still there.
Yeah. I mean, with gamers being scapegoated in the media, not equal to, but similar to immigrants, then, you know, maybe gamers will rise up.
Gamers, rise up. There's a specter haunting America.
Yeah. You know, this podcast is going to be called Living in a Society, right?
We are living in a society.
We do live in a society.
Have you ever seen that? The Costanza clip? He says it like at least 2 times throughout Seinfeld.
No, I haven't.
We are living, like, straight up says we are living in a society. And one of them is like, doesn't even make sense. Like, nobody will. Maybe it does. Sometimes Seinfeld hits a little too hard. Like, he's like at a train station or something, and no one will tell him the time. No, like, there's a clock on the wall, and no one will tell him the time. And he just gets mad and yells, "We are living in a society."
Yeah.
And that just hits a little too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's stupid.
Sure. I mean, that's a weird thing too, is that we've gotten so connected that everyone's on their phones, but it's like sitting on a train or something.
Yeah.
Like nobody talks to anyone.
No. Although I kind of prefer that in public transportation, but
Sure. Well, because you might. I mean, we don't have any public transportation here in Oklahoma,
I used to ride the public bus to class from Edmond to the city, and like it's like public, not like
Yeah.
Edmond public.
Sure.
The route I took since it went to the city, like drove by the Social Security office, and so that and the bus station in Bricktown.
Yeah.
So there's some characters between those two places.
That is an interesting thing, is that I was at the Edmond DPS recently, renewing my license, and man, what a beautiful equalizer that is. Like, it doesn't matter how loaded you are or how much of a criminal you are.
You gotta wait.
You gotta wait in that fucking line just like everyone else.
And be miserable.
And be miserable. Yeah. It's pretty great. Anyways, something else that actually does make me optimistic, something that I like asking guests lately. Do you think music can change the world?
Not anymore. If it ever did, not anymore.
You mean We Are the World didn't solve world hunger and created world peace?
Will ever solve much? I don't know. Music became too commodified. I'm not saying I want to go back to music being communal or anything. Like, I really like the concept of the album, and I hope that I hate that it's dying out. Now we're in the age of the stream, and you gotta load. It's sad that people like Drake have to load double albums with 30 tracks that nobody likes just so they can get enough streams to get paid from it. And the album is dead. The concept of the album is dying anyway.
Yeah. I'm still gonna make hella albums.
I'm gonna make albums because I love albums, but like give it like 10 or 20 years and like how much are albums gonna matter anymore? Yeah. But like that's if you care too much about the mainstream industry. And again, when I was younger, I'm fired up, care about this, and this makes me mad. And I'm like, I don't care, man. It's so much cooler to find like a little niche in your city and like be a part of a scene than it is to care about anything bigger than that to me.
Right. But I mean, that's how I think music can change the world, because it really is more impactful than, I mean, it's harder than, it's not as impactful as television, that's for sure. But I mean, YouTube is its own thing. What are you memeing over there about?
Jake Melvin texted me, "Bodies is the worst song of all time," and immediately the scream from that song played in my head, and that's why I like started laughing and snorting. I'm putting my phone down after that one. Sorry.
But I mean, I don't know. Something that we had to do for
I think
school.
That,
go ahead.
Sorry, I just like wanted to add to like the previous thing is that the reason I'm like, music's too commodified, not communal enough. I don't want to be too communal. Blah 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 blah. It's like music is the most accessible art form because like anybody can make music and be justified, whereas like for some reason with visual art, even though I feel like that's more accessible to most people, it's not. So it's not only like anybody can make music on their phones nowadays. Anybody can make music on anything they grab their hands on. It's more like it's the most partaked in like art form.
I would argue and say photography is.
As an art form though, like I don't count wedding photographs as an art form. But
I would,
but I see what you mean. I'm
we're
more
throwing
like
a lot
this.
of money at that, so it better. But
well, that hell, the more money there is, the less of an art form it is.
Sure, and that's true. But
Okay. What I'm saying is that like I really take music seriously. I really take rating songs and rating albums and like ranking things and like giving like my objective reasoning to like how I feel about things in music. I like really put a weight in a lot of that. And like a lot of people don't. It's because they're like, I don't care that you think that this Yellow Magic Orchestra album is wildly important because it has crazy like resonant dark timbres and it's like the first album to use a 808 drum machine and blah 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 blah. I don't care about that. All I care about is give me an artist. I don't know. Lil Pump's
Billie
new.
Eilish.
Billie Eilish. Wow, Billie Eilish is just really like changing because it's like something I listen to. I listen to her music, and that's all it is for most people. Is like I listen to this, and that's okay. But that's why I feel like music can't change the world because that's all music. For most people, music stops at I listen to this. And that's
Right, well,
it's more like that for people than Marvel movies. People take Marvel movies like they're the moving Mona Lisas, man. And I like Marvel movies a lot, but like I also know they have little objective value.
Right. I mean, some of them have some artistic value.
Yeah, but we're talking about a massive like 30 film franchise,
Right,
and every
right.
like film to people is like the chalice from the Last Supper or something. And like
Right. You
again,
can't tell me Captain Marvel was good.
No, it wasn't.
It's just a
It was just a movie.
propaganda arm of the Air Force, actually.
The Air Force. Yeah. It was like Top Gun 2. Oh wait, no, that's really happening now. Hey. I got to tell you about this movie called Iron Eagle sometime. It's really bad and really funny. Like again, I'm not shitting on Billie Eilish. I'm not shitting on Marvel movies. I'm just telling you that like they mean to me. Billie Eilish and Marvel movies mean about the same. But people take those Marvel movies a lot more seriously.
Yeah, but so I mean, this is kind of like a consequence of the late capitalism, as some people have.
Yep, we are in the end. We are in late stage capitalism for sure.
Which is the fact that like there is no more art without money involved.
Not that you're gonna hear about.
No. Yeah, there's. I mean, even as far back as the Beatles, though. And the Beatles was this weird thing that, like, somehow musicians this good actually did get
Loaded.
the spotlight.
Yeah. Of the world.
And that's the thing is that, like, conveniently enough, not conveniently, but, like, they're good because they did the work. They spent a lot of time in that German bar.
Super lucky. At the same time.
Right, yes.
They could have been in that German bar forever.
And yet, cool. They got lucky.
Mm-hmm. They did their job when they got that luck.
Right. But nowadays, everyone is like any of the people that anyone has heard of nowadays is just a product that has been manufactured by some marketing arm of a record label.
Yeah. And dude, that's why Billie Eilish is like the ultimate like modern day Zoomer pop star. Because like she so clearly is just this like product that I really I don't have a problem with her. I have a problem with the fact that her parents just like turned her into like a product and went, we homeschooled this kid. We're just gonna like use our money and like just like promote her. And it's like, what? Like, you don't want your kid to have like genuine, and maybe she does, I don't know, but like there's something different about Gen Zers compared to like millennials to me, and she's like the ultimate like just disconnected example.
Well, they were born in the Matrix.
Yeah, and she didn't do anything wrong. She was just unlucky to be born in the Matrix.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what do you do now to make money with music? You become an Instagram influencer is what you do. Yeah, and it's not about the music anymore. No, it's just about the image.
Like electronic YouTube. It's just people going, hey, look, let me film my hands touching these knobs and these boxes. And it's like, no one actually cares about the music that's playing or what goes behind the programming even of like the sounds. Like people go, oh, my Octatrack. You see that Octatrack? Wow, that's a $1,400 instrument new. Wow, this person's touching it and I can see it. And that's just part of the capitalist obsession in this like death throw that we're in.
Right, but I think it's like we're in like a vicious cycle of or spiral of like what is the thing that we want to listen to, and obviously like the 70s and 80s are back.
Right. Stranger Things.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all like Egos? Those were in the 80s. You can find
Remember synthesizers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have synthesizer tracks on everything, and it sucked, but like it's cool now.
Yeah.
Which, you know, dude, props to Stranger Things guy for making my music cool again. By the way, I score films.
Yeah.
And I'm working on scoring a short film for my friend in Ohio. Cool. It's going to be pretty awesome. He's pretty much giving me like free reign to do whatever I want.
Do it. It's great. I also score films.
Please hire us.
Yeah. As we shit on everything that you love.
Billy, if you're hearing this, let me score your home films.
But anyways, I think that like what people are listening to is because someone is telling them to.
Yeah.
So I mean, at some point Billie Eilish got big enough to where Spotify was like, you should be listening to Billie Eilish. And we're going to keep telling you to, because that's the thing. Someone has dictated the thing, and we're doing it now. So, I mean, I don't know. I do want there to be a future of music. Something that I've been asking people lately on the podcast is what is the sound of the future? Because as far as I can tell, with musical ideas, we were done with musical ideas with John Cage 433. Now we're just making new sounds.
Yeah. No, that's exactly where I was going to go with that.
Because people obviously aren't going to accept something outside of these 12 tones.
Yeah. Maybe.
So that's no.
Hey man, people like Aphex Twin because of his microtonality and King Gizzard. They do it sometimes.
Yeah. Right. Scales.
Like as far as theory goes, it's over. Like we've learned all we need to learn, but that's okay. We don't need to go any further. There's a lot.
Sure. I mean, I guess maybe to some people, I've like gone through to the other side, and I'm looking at music theory, and I know that there's more that I haven't discovered, but I also know what I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I see that dark area there, and I'm like, yeah, I know that that's there. I don't care. So it's like, yeah, now we're just onto new sounds. And I don't know what those new sounds are. That's why I've been into like so much noise lately. Because
keep going.
What?
Let's keep going.
Oh yeah. Well, because noise is the newest thing to my ear that is beyond just just like these 7 notes in a scale and the everything else with 5 going to 1, 2 going to 5, or 4 going to 5. And noise is the coolest thing that I've been hearing lately that has been allowing me to feel something different.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't been feeling something with music, but it feels different. That's probably why Death Grips is such a like meme, but also
they're 100% the most important band of the 2010s.
Yeah. Because they're making something
different.
And
it's actually different. People go, oh no, industrial hip hop exists. No, it's not the same. Like they're really doing something different. They're not doing straight noise hip hop. They're not doing straight industrial. They're doing something like new. Mm-hmm. Like nothing sounds like Death Grips until after Death Grips. Mm-hmm. To me.
Sure.
There's a reason Bowie was listening to Death Grips when he made Black Star before he died. There's a reason he talked about them.
Mm-hmm. Beyonce as well is a big fan of.
Dude, that picture of Death Grips with Robert Pattinson at a Beyonce concert is one of the treasures of life.
Robert Pattinson is on a Death Grips album.
He played the guitar on Birds on Government Plates.
Yeah.
So he's an unofficial member of Death Grips, and he's made quite the career turnaround from Edward the Vampire to fringe member of Death Grips and like art film actor extraordinaire.
Yeah,
and Batman. Yeah, he's made it.
Batman likes Death Grips.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, and the thing is too that if you think of Batman would like Death Grips.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. Because, I mean, what else is going to appeal to the torment of the madman that wears the mask other than Death Grips? It's great.
I love how, I don't know the DC movie maker guys, but, like, they were real mad at the one guy for a while because, like, he made Batman, like, a moody psychopath. And like Batman versus Superman and stuff.
Batman is a moody psychopath.
I know. But people are like, what? Why is he not like a model good guy superhero? Why is he acting like an asshole? Because like if somebody was really Batman, they'd be crazy and they'd be an asshole.
Right. But he still has a rule of no killing. That's why that fucking sucked. It's not great to betray a character's ideals, especially whenever you're doing so many other homages to the comics. That's what was.
I hope Than doesn't hear this part and get mad at me.
I think Than would appreciate certain things about all of the DC movies, even if no, he wouldn't.
We love you, Than.
Yeah. But anyways, new sounds. What's the sound of the future?
The sound of the future is the combination of acoustics and electronics, which is something that has been going on the past nearly century. Well, no,
I'd say century.
It's almost been a century, and we're still not there yet.
What year was Silver Apples of the Moon for this? If you haven't looked up Silver Apples of the Moon, it's the...
I mean, that's 67.
Yes. It was the first electronic composition to be commissioned and released on a record label.
And then there's the band Silver Apples that came like a year later in tribute, who are also one of the first like electronic acts.
Yeah.
We're talking late 60s though, but there was experimentation with stuff like theremins before that.
Yeah.
Forbidden Planet has like the first, or at least the most important beginning film score that's like electronics, and those are like people in labs.
Yeah.
Electronic technicians, not musicians. But no, so like one album I always point people to is called Velocity Design Comfort by Sweet Trip. Yeah.
Such a good album.
And it's like I've spent many years studying that album, and now I get it. And it's like they combine shoegaze with like ambient IDM glitch music, and like that's insane, and like nobody's really done it since. And it's crazy because like that's what I mean by you have the timbres of shoegaze guitars, real instruments, you've got people singing, but you've also got like the unpredictable aspect of glitch. You've got the programming of like 90s electronic music, and that's like a new thing that like people still like aren't caught up to that yet. If rock isn't gonna die, that's where it has to go.
Rock is dead.
I know. But I'm saying if it wants to come back, if it isn't going to die forever, it has to embrace electronics.
We actually talked about this the last time that you were on. Rock is dead.
And nothing's changed in the past 4 years. I mean, Death Grips, they're a thing. They've always been a thing. They've been a thing since the last time I was on here. Death Grips has come close. What else? What else is even... Vaporwave was a cool organic thing. I mean, it's still...
But it was based around nostalgia.
Yeah, but like, okay.
Still is based around.
So let me expand we have to combine electronics and acoustics. We have to think about timbre and feeling. And Vaporwave was based entirely around nostalgia and timbre and feeling and like what it elicits. And so my favorite album of all time, Music Has the Right to Children by Boards of Canada. Amazing songwriting, amazing compositions, but what really makes that album crazy, and like I know it was purposeful, is just the feelings that are elicited by just all the random things thrown together, like children's voices with like low rumbly synthesizers and like dusty old like hip hop beats. I mean, like, it's all really, like, meticulous in, like, what they're trying to, like, get out of the listener. And I feel like... Orange. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, when they make music, don't think about what is the listener getting out of this. A lot of people go, I want to tell a story. I want to say something, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's how I make music.
But, like, when I'm thinking about getting in the driver's seat, I'm going, what can I make something feel?
I do both, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do.
You have to.
You have to. And that's like what I'm saying, like going forward, like we've got to think about eliciting feelings. We've got to paint albums and songs like they're movies. We've got to really like framework it.
Which is an interesting thing that like the movie industry has expanded, or at least
dying.
Have you seen in the same way that the economy has sort of expanded outwards, as in the big movies are getting bigger and the small movies are getting smaller.
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No.
It's basically like Tarantino's. Hey, remember Hollywood? Just kidding. This isn't really Hollywood, but like also like movies used to be made with care, and that's kind of dead now.
Yeah.
But here's a feel good like
Right.
thumbs up. Like, you know, we can still make movies with feeling if we want to.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, somehow the public has latched onto film so greatly. I mean, the fact that Endgame surpassed Avatar recently means that a new thing was able to make more money than the old thing. Cool.
God, yeah, that's all we think about now.
But at the same time, it does mean that people appreciate.
Do they? Okay, let's talk about like the top 3 grossing films that people have talked about recently. Endgame, which took forever to pass Titanic. No, they passed Titanic. They passed Avatar. That took forever. And now people are going Lion King, the remake of Lion King, the lifeless remake is now the 3rd most grossing film by Disney. And I'm like, how? Why?
Because everyone had to see it.
So think about this.
Again, it's like
you have a movie directed by Quentin Tarantino starring Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. 10 years ago, that would have been world breaking. I mean, he's done it.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's in it. I mean, it has all kinds of people in it. Al Pacino. And it's like, none of those stars mean anything to people anymore. No. And like, these are like talented, like people who like really work their lives on their craft. And that means nothing anymore because people want to go look at like really bad CGI lions of like, that is like a lifeless remake of a very beautiful animated film. And it doesn't even make sense why people would want to see that.
Right. But I also think that like, critically, I think people are paying more attention now.
Are they?
Yeah. No, I think like
I mean, people are
a lot of people.
The people we know.
Right, sure.
Twitter, I mean, even people we don't know on Twitter, our Twitter feeds. Yeah, people trash The Lion King, but like that didn't stop it from becoming the 3rd highest Disney film.
Well, that's the thing. Money doesn't equal critical success. Venom was like one of the biggest movies whenever that came out. So I mean,
yeah, that was an objectively bad but funny movie.
But that's the thing. It's like if people will go out to see the same thing with like memes. Memes can just be straight up garbage, but they get shared a whole lot. That's why like 40-year-old moms share Minions. But that doesn't mean that it's good. But I think that the conversation is getting a little bit smarter around it. Or at least more people are trying to have a smart conversation about it.
And that's just like saying like everybody's aware of how bad the world is in general.
Sure.
You could apply to the movies too. This is getting bleak again.
I think that the more that people are appreciating films, even if the film industry is dying, the more kind of woke, dare I say, people will be.
I hope so.
I mean, Spider-Man Far From Home had like an actual message, which was interesting.
What was its message? I went and saw it, and I loved it. And I don't even remember what message you're talking about.
That people can make reality what they say it is. And we've lost all touch with what actual reality is and what the reality that people tell us it is, which is kind of something that we've been talking about this entire podcast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the fact that like a media giant like Disney is allowing, Disney and Sony is allowing this sort of message to be put out genuinely, or at least the filmmakers put it out genuinely. I don't know if
It's quite
the
subtle.
money put it out genuinely. But the message is there. I think that there's some hope for that message, at least. And yeah, we can count on the fact that like lots of idiots probably did go to see the movie just because it's Spider-Man or just because there's explosions or whatever.
Hey man, I went to see it just because of Spider-Man, so I'm not faulting people too much.
Right. I mean, so did I, but hey, look, an actual message.
Yeah.
Still doesn't change the fact that Into the Spider-Verse is the single best Spider-Man movie ever made.
It's maybe the best superhero movie. Like, straight up.
Yeah. And just so stylish.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Man, I wish animation was taken more seriously.
Right. Well, we wish lots of things were taken more seriously.
Yeah. Anything good. Just, good means not taken seriously, I guess.
We can... Yeah. Anyways, we've gotten way in the whatevers.
Yeah, we were talking about the sound of tomorrow, and I don't know. We gotta. It's all about timbre. It's all about eliciting feelings. And timbre doesn't just mean like one instrument, and like, oh, my synthesizer. I have these harmonics and these overtones and this and that, and so it elicits a feeling. No, think about it like what I said with Boards of Canada. I've got a child's voice. On top of like a really rumbly square wave with distortion and like also like dusty drum samples and like we're painting a picture with different items, different brushes. That's what I mean by timbre. Eno's awesome. Brian Eno is awesome. I mean, amazing musician. He understood this timbre thing decades before a lot of people.
Music for airports.
Yeah, I mean,
was that the first ambient album?
I gotta look into that, but it's one of them. He invented the term ambient music, right. Did he not? Mm-hmm. And so, like, a lot of his stuff is like piano and synthesizer, and that's painting a picture, but it's like, all right, that's what we were doing in the 80s and the 90s. Mm-hmm. We could take it a little step further now. Mm-hmm. And, I hate Billie Eilish's music, but if I can say there's one thing that her and her brother are doing right, it's like
there's
using
some cool ass production in there.
Timbre, production. They are doing it so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have to like their music to know that they're talented and they're doing that incredibly well. Even her voice, the way she uses her voice with the electronics is exactly what I mean. And so, like, at least, like, people can appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Who else?
But that's what I'm saying is that, like, even though the people's perception of the music is sometimes garbage, there's, like, we're sort of opening it up to a new sort of lens.
You're right.
And so for so many people to like be listening to Billie Eilish, and
there's got to be a reason,
right? And to start thinking about production in this way,
yeah.
No, it's not so much about like a reason for that. The reason is money, but but at least what they're doing, is good, which is like why I brought up the Beatles earlier. It's like the reason everyone listened to the Beatles is because there was money putting it everywhere.
Yeah.
They put out 3 films.
Yeah. Dude.
And they are
people act
awful.
like the boy band is like a 90s invention, but like the Beatles literally are doing what BTS does now.
Yeah. I mean, Help was straight up garbage. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's straight up garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean,
Hard Day's Night slaps.
I don't think I've seen that one. But it's just like they had the money to do it.
Yeah, so they did it. And
so they did
position.
Right. So I mean, it's the same thing. Like Billie Eilish has tons of money.
Yep.
Thrown into that entire product. The product itself might not matter that much, but at least the product itself is actually pretty interesting, production wise. So that's nice. even though it's not even like saying anything new, because it's not.
It's sounding new.
Yeah, it's sounding new, which is cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That's what we got.
And maybe that is what we need. And I mean, that's probably why like Linkin Park was so popular in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because they were like,
rock
hey,
was a thing,
rap
and people went,
and rock.
whoa.
Yeah. Even though the message of Linkin Park was like, oh, I feel so And that's basically what Billie Eilish is now. Yeah. It's just like, hey, I'm kind of messed up.
Infinitely relatable feeling.
Yep. Because if you don't use actual specific words to tell an actual specific story, then you'll just appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I feel like that's a good way. What's something that name 3 musics that people should listen to?
Like anything, or like now? That's out now.
Whatever you find more important as a priority.
Anything. Can I just name my top 3 albums?
Go for it.
Is that good enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give my top 3 albums with said artists. Just to...
Why do you need to look it up? You're like reaching over to the computer, like, oh, I gotta verify that my top 3
I had to remember
in my entire life.
Music Has the Right to Children by Boards of Canada is like the most important album of all time to me, and I don't think that'll ever change. Many of my friends who know me know this. Many of my friends who have ever heard me talk about Boards of Canada listen to Boards of Canada and really like it.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, if I gotta convince you with like one song by them specifically from that album, is it Aquarius or is it Roy G. Biv? What do you think?
I don't know. It's been
Aquarius is the
I generally
orange
listen
song.
to
Aquarius?
the entire album
the whole
at
album
once,
in whole.
and so I don't actually remember.
Well, the
which songs are
orange,
which.
That one, that's Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
That's what has like the sick bass line. And then they both have.
I'd say Roy G. Biv is probably more like important.
Listen to Roy G. Biv. Think about just listen to it and listen to all the textures. Listen to the rumbly SH 101 bass line that takes it out. The pretty like piano samples, just the vague children talking through it. It's just a really beautiful sound, beautiful song. Music Has the Right to Children. It's one of those albums where it has a title you think about. It's like, it's not asking, does art deserve to be removed from the artist? It's like saying like art deserves.
Yeah. I mean, it's also funny, which is interesting.
Funny. You say it's funny? I mean, it's kind of funny. I love it.
They just like inverted the phrase. Children have the right to music. Music has the right to children.
But it's so true.
Music doesn't have rights. That's the funny part.
But it does. art does. Art does have rights. There's a lot of good art made by horrible people, and then there's like a lot of like mediocre art made by horrible people that just isn't excused. Like Kanye, you've really slowed down, man. Like I can't
listen to Kanye.
I can't listen to him anymore. I used to love him, and like there's just something about his music that just his early music's still good.
Right. I just still don't listen to it though, because I
no, I'm with you.
Him as a person so much now.
So much now, and you have to really get out of your way for that to happen. Kanye. Long Season by Fishmans is another album I think people need to listen to. It's a 35-minute composition. It's like almost indescribable. It's just this out of this world psychedelic dream pop dream in a cave. It's an impossible to describe album. It features a lot of like dub style electric bass playing with like insane synthesizers, and like I think they on the I own it on vinyl. It's like the only vinyl pressing ever, and I like stalked Japanese websites for like 2 years to get it.
What was it again? My brain went somewhere else.
Long Season by Fishmans.
Okay, yeah. No, I did hear it.
It's like, it's just a pretty in the the fold, the inner sleeve or whatever, like they're in front of a cave, at least the instruments are. So I think they recorded a lot of it in a cave and it sounds like it.
Cool.
And it's just like one of the prettiest like song journeys I've ever heard. And it used to be my favorite album, but like I think I relegated it to 2 because Music Has the Right to Children has had a bigger effect on me as a musician. But like Long Season is something that I feel like everybody needs to hear. And again, that's one of those like a lot of my friends are into Fishmans, listen to Fishmans, love it because of me, because of talking about Long Season. It's a very likable band and album. Now,
cool.
My third album is a new addition to the top 5, and it kind of leapfrogged over a couple albums. And I didn't rate it for years because like I'm a Yellow Magic Orchestra worshiper. I think they're like the most important electronic band ever, and like I really like get sad when people try to like relegate them as just being like a second. What's the word when like
second rate, whatever.
Second rate, not the first choice.
Oh, sure, yeah.
People just like think about them like that to Kraftwerk, and it's like they're not even like similar in any way. Like Kraftwerk was like making like your primitive, not primitive, but like
simple.
No, I don't mean simple in their music style. I mean like the synthesizers they were using were way different. They were like European, like kind of primitive synthesizers, and they were making simple music, but like what they were doing was really important. But like Yellow Magic Orchestra was a band of like 3 like wildly talented, like from wildly different background session musicians who met a guy who was rich and obsessed with these like electronic synthesizers. They were coming hot off the presses in Japan. Like they had access to like the latest Roland stuff, way before everybody else, and they took advantage of this by like learning it before everybody else and like really like digging deep. And they're more like Kraftwerk, and I think that's the problem. Is their first couple albums, they are like Kraftwerk, and that's what people have only heard. But their mid-career, those like next like 3 or 4 albums are like insane. Like the jump they made from like 1979 to 1980, 81 is a massive jump in musicality and like technique in programming a new era of like instruments.
So with that, what's your number 3 though?
What?
What's your number 3 though?
Oh yeah, I got into talking about the band. Well, it's their album BGM, background music, and it's anything but. It's just this like it's filled with like just the craziest synth sounds you've ever heard, but also like really good like experimental songwriting in contrast to their pop. Like they're still pop musicians, but they're like mainstream pop oriented first couple albums. This is like a total like workshop and experimentation, and it's a really fantastic album that I think everyone should hear, just to like hear something you've never heard before. I don't think a lot of people will ever like the album like I do, but it's like something that you'll never hear anything like it. Yeah. And it's like one of the first uses, if not the first use of the Roland 808 drum machine, which is like the most famous drum machine ever. Everybody loves it. We'll go listen to it in an application that was before everybody else and wasn't like trap beats that you've heard a million times. These are like insane, like hard to bend your head around techno beats. Yeah.
Then in which case, I'll list some albums that you should listen to that are like right now.
Okay.
One, I would say Brighter Wounds by Sunlux. I've been repping Sunlux for a while now.
Bro, Ian Chang blows me away.
Yeah, dude. That swing, his swing is insane. Anyways,
I can't wrap my head around his drumming. I love it. I love it. I love it.
But Brighter Wounds is also a really important album now. Ryan Lott, the main sort of composer, songwriter, he wrote this album at a time when one of his best friends died of cancer and he had his first kid. And so this was also around the time that Donald Trump was elected. And so he had this whole slew of like
feelings,
life and death and terror.
Yeah.
And so it's not only is it just so emotionally wrought and sort of current, it's also really interesting and new sounds, using traditional instruments in a really weird and cool way through production.
It's, I mean, you can count it as post rock.
Yeah,
because they're thinking about timbre.
Right. And there's, I still don't know how. I asked Ian Chang how he did the drum thing in all directions, the like roll thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I was like stretching the grid, or I was playing with like stretching the grid or whatever. And I'm like, I still don't know.
You're like, what? Like, visualize that for me?
Yeah.
Can you draw a picture with stick figures?
But I mean, yeah. Another one is, sure, I'll just go with The Money Store by Death Grips.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's, I mean, as hipster as it sounds to go like, oh, their earlier stuff was less blah, blah, blah. But like, it is before Death Grips had all of the success.
Yep.
And so it is a lot more raw.
It's raw, but like it's also like their most accessible. But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
it's already pretty intense.
It's like music that you could play at a club and not even think about it. But like if you like focus,
think
like
a little bit,
yeah, you focus
like,
for 1 to 2 seconds. You're like, what am I hearing? Yeah.
And that's how, I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
But it's pushing the boundaries of what you are to expect of electronic music, of rap, of, I mean, even just looking at the lyrics, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Because his
lyricism is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll need a thesaurus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, The Money Store is impactful.
Yes.
And it's something that I think people need to hear to sort of go, oh, this is
the hype.
New things are.
Yeah.
And then I guess a little more traditional per se, but Aromanticism by Moses Sumney. He uses his voice in a really interesting and cool way. It's kind of a short album too. I think it's like about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Ian Chang actually plays on one of the tracks on that album too.
Okay.
But it explores unconventional ideas with a really great usage of the voice.
You said Moses Sumney?
Yeah.
Okay.
In a way that you wouldn't normally expect from male vocalists.
Okay.
Because that album, he sings almost exclusively in falsetto.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his range and the openness to like, there's like vocal mistakes in it.
Oh, yeah. You don't hear that. Never hear that anywhere else.
Like there's some songs that I'm pretty sure they just did in one take and then just added the production stuff around it.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of tell that like, here's a little vocal tick that if you were practicing and that came out, you'd be like, ooh, crap.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But in my time sort of absorbing the album, I've sort of wanted to figure out how to do some of those things. So it's a cool thing. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Moses Sumney, I think, is a voice towards the future as well. Because he's using his voice, a very traditional instrument, and guitar and stuff, but using production and stuff to make something really cool and new. So, yeah.
I'm a fan.
Chase, thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me, man. Can I talk about my music at all before we get off?
That's what I'm saying. Go plug your stuff.
So my artist name is Pierrot Le Fou. It means, what is it? Pierrot the Fool or something. It's a French archetype of like the sad clown. And I feel like that applies to me a lot sometimes. And
Insert
it's also
that Watchmen joke.
It's also a good art film, Pierrot Le Fou, and it's just a postmodern French New Wave, assault your senses kind of movie, but like also like the archetype, the character, the idea of like the sad clown in the modern world. It's just, I feel like it fits me in my aesthetic, in my like musical themes. You can find me, either look that up. You know, I'll have to send it to Santiago how to spell it because it's French. But you can also find me at soundcloud.com/thechampton. And you can find pretty much all my social media at The Champton.
Yep.
Yeah, I make a lot of wild electronic stuff. I'm experimenting. I'm trying to write music to actually like write an album where I'm like singing and stuff rather than just like a bunch of like demo throwaways that I make in my free time.
All right.
But
which track do you want at the end of this?
Which track do I want at the end of this? Can I send one to you?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out after the pod.
Okay. But there will be a track.
There will be a track, and it's gonna be sick. And yeah, hope it's not Borrowed Time, because that's the track that everybody loves, but it's really old. So we'll try to find something newer. Yeah, that's me, Pierre Le Fou. Come catch me at a random hipster's house in Oklahoma City, playing against my will, kidnapped by angry krautrockers.
Sure. And maybe at some point I'll kidnap you and get you to play drums.
Some point.
Yeah. Once again, thank you for doing this with me. I'm Santiago Ramones.
I'm Chase Hampton.
You can find everything that I do on my website, santiagoramones.com. The latest thing that you can listen to of mine is Machinations, which is on my website, santiagoramones.com/podcast/machinations. I need to make a shorter URL for that, but that's where it is right now. So do that. But that was my master's recital, which was 2 years in the making, with a whole lot of electronic stuff, choir pieces, brass quintet, piano solos, some jazz pieces. So, but the first 7 pieces are an anthology series exploring technology in the future, like Black Mirror, but with music and less pessimistic.
Yeah, it's not nearly as pessimistic as our pod here.
And yeah, you can find the podcast on pretty much every place that you can find podcasts. If there's a place that it's not on, let me know. You can leave comments and reviews and stuff. That stuff really helps. I always end the podcast with my 3 things. They shape my life philosophy. Those 3 things are: love never fails, it's going to be okay, I might be wrong.
出ます。